Hello all, it is Henry NWR1911 here with a very special type of video. It is the next Thomas VHS and DVD review on Steamies Vs Diesels. Find it poetic that the last release was on New Friends for Thomas, and now we have Steamies Vs Diesels, the following release. Yeah, still recovering from a cold, but I'm feeling a bit better. But yeah, Steamies vs. Diesels was released on May 18th, 2004. The 20th anniversary is today, at the time this video is premiering, and the 20th anniversary of the hit era. So, it was reprinted again in 2006 and 7, and in 2011 and all those times. It was in a couple of DVD sets, like the Adventure on the Track set. I'll put an image of that on the screen. And yeah, let's just get right into review. So we have Steamies vs. Diesels and Other Thomas Adventures. Don't know why they say Another Thomas Adventures, because there's no story. I don't know where that render of Thomas was clipped from, but but I know that Diesel's from the World's Strongest Engine, but that poster, it does look actually very cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it looks awesome. Cartoon Thomas on the spine. Hit Entertainment. The first solo hit release. This is where the Making Tracks to Great Destination shit began. We have a screenshot of Percy's New Whistle and Henry and the Wishing Tree. The fact that they actually list these songs and more implies that Hit knew this release was hella lacking and tried to trick parents into thinking it was a better value. Visit Thomas and Friends at thomasthetank.com. The tape. I've had this since like 2020, but you know what copy of this release I've had since my childhood? This. Despite putting this in last place on the Best of the Worst of Thomas series, I kind of like this release, I guess. It's exactly the same as the original, except we now have some very cool bonus features. So sorry if the review section was a bit short, because now we're going to show off the menu on my cool-ass computer. So here we are at the menu for Steamies vs. Diesels. It's exactly the same as Great to Be an Engine. We had it cut through the intro, but like, this is a cool menu style of, I love that they did this on this map of Sodor, but it looks a little more dumbed down. Oh, and I love the detail of the signal turning green. James is here with our stories, and I'll talk about my thoughts on the episodes here. Thomas to the Rescue is a great episode. While you could easily swap out Thomas for Duck, I think Thomas does work pretty well as Diesel's opponent. It's a decent, wholesome story. I kind of like Wishing Tree. Henry forgetting how to bowl coaches is stupid, but you could try and make the argument that it could be set during or before season 1. Like, when it was just Edward Gordon and Henry, but, like, you can bend it to a certain extent. Like, I defend Wishing Tree, but, like, not as hard as Flagpole or Big Strong Henry. Henry wasn't the worst character in the hit era. Edward and Toby were done worse. I can even see that this little thing is changing directions. Shouldn't it be, like, flipped? Squeak, Rattle, and Roll. It's honestly amazing. Gordon's perfectly in character. This feels like a story Wilbur Audrey would have written. It feels like the properly adapted version of Tender Engines from season 3. And Percy's New Whistle sucks. Percy's just horribly dumbed down in this era. He's just... You're telling me he wouldn't know not to blow his whistle that loudly? And the problem is, only 4 episodes. That kind of brings it down in my eyes. But the fun and games probably will not make up for it, but just add. Oh, it froze. But that signal pose does look kind of cool. Oh, it didn't. So here we are with our games. We have the Steamy Stumper, Sodor Sound, Steamy or Diesel, Front Facts, Sneak Peeks, Songs and More, and Web Fun. I used many of these sound effects from this game in my series. Let's look at Steamy or Diesel. if it won't crash.
Two kinds of engines help keep Sir Topham Hatt's railway running smoothly.
I can do a good impressions of some of the characters. We're gonna briefly mute it. We got Thomas, Edward, Henry, my boy, James, Gordon, Percy, Harvey. Oh god, that looks so weird. It looks like a paper drawing. Emily. Oh my, one of my other boys, Murdoch. James is. Oh, they're all my boys. Or Emily's a girl. Earl. Oh, can we like? Oh, it's not letting me. Or it did let me skip a little bit. Here's Diesel, Salty, Mavis, Rusty. It's weird Rusty's the only narrow gauge character. I'm astounded that Boko and Daisy made it into this game. Daisy sounds like a fucking serial killer, as I said on my live stream. And Spencer being a Diesel, we all know this. Yeah. We're just gonna play the game real quick and see what it's like. Okay, yeah, he's Diesel. Oh!
Good try, but I actually have a horn instead.
I think we all know this. I didn't want this to pop up.
Wow.
Right.
Well, Thomas, am I a
Wait, what's he gonna say if I click Diesel?
Good try, but I actually have a funnel, so
Let's just go back to the menu. This wasn't... And I'm just muting it for copyright. I can't see fucking shit. Okay, now I can. Friend facts, which is just the character gallery. We have a pretty good roster here. We got the main 6. Like, it's... Let's just look at... Who's someone we don't get to see much in these character galleries? Let's do... Let's do Diesel, I guess. And Sir Topham Hatt's reading out the bio, and I think on the It's Great to Be an Engine, if you click this, it will say why the character's proud of who they are. That's kind of wholesome. Songs and more. These learning segments I don't care about. The sound song is a pretty good song in my opinion. And the roll call isn't that bad, it's just hella overplayed. Web fun. Main. And that's pretty much it for Steamies Vs Diesels. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's pulled down by Percy's new whistle and the overall lack of much besides the 4 episodes. Oh, it feels just a little bit cheap, but I'd still give it a recommend if you're kind of like a diehard Thomas fan. And the fact that, like, I didn't mention, most of these episodes don't have much to do with Steamies vs. Diesels, aside from Thomas to the rescue. Henry and the Wishing Tree has no reason to be on here. And okay, there's our gag. It cut off. Subscribe.